wellnesssupport.com and donate today.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Faith and Freedom. I'm Shemane Nugent, and this is Ted and Rocco, and we are having such a great time. We can't wait to tell you about this new project that Rocco.
It's an ongoing project.
Yes.
Started forever, will go on forever.
But first, I want to talk to you about something really important, and that's our health. The Trump administration has brought a lot of positive changes when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The reality is, however, that there's only so much the government can do. And if we really want to make America healthy again, that starts at home with each one of us. And that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You see and hear from the Wellness Company doctors all the time, and you know that their products are the gold standard for keeping you and your family safe and healthy. The Wellness Company gives you the opportunity to make sure you're prepared for whatever happens with their series of prescription medical kits. These kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of these medications. Now, the Wellness Company offers a variety of products from parasite cleanses to methylene blue. Have you tried that, Rocco?
Love it.
To weight loss and so much more that can help you stay healthy and live a longer, more satisfying life. You guys know how important health and wellness is to all of us. And I only partner with companies who share my values, and that's exactly why I'm partnering with the Wellness Company. Make America healthy again starts at home. So do your part and protect the health of you and your family. Go to twc.health/Shemane today and place an order. That's twc.health/Shemane. Don't forget, use that promo code Shemane to save 10%. twc.health/Shemane. Ted and Rocco, welcome to Faith and Freedom.
And Coco and Jackson are in the room too. You might hear our dogs yelping because they are so healthy and happy thanks to GetUncleTeds.com.
That's
but anyhow,
right.
We're proud to be here. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, I started out by laughing because just before we were about to roll, Coco crawled underneath the desk and all the lights were about to topple. So if you hear dogs whining in the background, that's our dogs. And
we love our dogs.
We love our dogs. But Rocco, I want to talk to you first. Ted, we've got you both for 2 segments. I want to talk to you about the project and why you wanted to start this project. Because it's really your...
I mean, I was dropping off the mail one day and Dad said, while scrolling on his phone, I think for the first time, he's like, son, we should do like a photo book with every picture that exists of me. Start on that. It's like, that sounds
And then I went and got a raccoon.
Yeah, and I was just starting to wrap my head around it, and it's been about almost 2.5 years now, and it's the most comprehensive Ted Nugent item that exists in the universe. And my thought was, what if it's a time capsule? So people find this guy years from now, hundreds of years from now, and they find this
Who
book,
was this man?
and they see everything that your husband and my father has done with his life, and every album has basically an essay of where Ted was in his life, where culture was, how the music affected culture, and how culture affected the music. And he's still going, but it's 7 decades worth of a music discography and life discography, anthropology of this man right here.
Well, when I gave you that directive, I give directives to about, what do I have, 11 employees every day, from conservation to hunting guides to drummers and bass players and production, sound and lights, people with trucks and trailers and amplifiers and guitars and electricians. So I give commands almost like, what is
Alamo,
that?
the Alamo.
Yeah, the Alamo.
Message to Garcia.
Message to Garcia. Hey, Rocco, people keep sending me thousands of photos that are just fascinating, many of which I haven't seen. So get all those photos together, kind of It chronicles my musical Chuck Berry, Little Richard, American Dream, defiance, fun, irreverent, outrage, working hard, playing hard dream from 1958 all the way till 2026 and beyond. And as I said that to you, I went about my chores. But it is fascinating that you took it on as a life's project. It's going to be called Gonzo Life. It's a coffee table book that chronicles my 70 years of pursuing excellence on the guitar and the bow and arrow, and we the people activism, demanding that there's constitutional accountability from our elected employees. And it all does parallel freedom Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness. And if you're going to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I would recommend Gonzo Life in the Pursuit of Gonzo Happiness. And no guitar player, no musician in the history of the world, and this is a bold statement, which I'm really good at, has had more fun than I have. Last Saturday in Round Mountain, Texas, at the Cider Mill, drinking natural organic,
so
and
good.
playing with John Kutz and Johnny Big, Calvin Ross, Chris Hadley. You were there. It has a life of its own, and really, with the technological advancements, which I don't believe are always advancements, AI, it can be used for good or evil. But the rawness of what Chuck Berry and Little Richard created, and James Brown, Wilson Pickett, Motown Funk Brothers, all these soulful, emotional, musical heroes, it's pure in 2026, just like it was in 1826. So thank you for taking on this project. It won't be ready probably till the end of the year at the earliest, but it's fascinating. It was me doing it, and I'm fascinated by every page that Rocco creates in this wonderful book, The Gonzo Life of Ted Nugent.
And you sorted through all the photos. What was it like for you, like going down memory lane and looking at not only our family when you were a baby and you were growing up, but also Dad's past and all of the things that made him the man he is today?
Including 20 new photos that came in today.
Yeah, there's literally an onslaught of photos. Someone at the concert gave an envelope of pictures I have not seen.
I had never seen those photos.
I've never seen those photos, and they're from when I believe the Stranglehold cover shoot. That was around that year. And so it's been a wild feeling of almost objectifying something that I am unable to be objective about, which is obviously my father, but also his impact on the world and the world's impact on him. And I think his philosophy is, maybe life is a bit more of like the universal word, but Gonzo is the word that I think has been almost my question since I was a kid, that maybe I didn't know I was asking until this book became such a all-encompassing project of collages. And that's me as a millennial internet kid, this should go with this, and then this should go with this, and then, oh my God, that thing from over here, let's pull this, and then, okay, tuck that around that, and this guy's life is so all-encompassing. And I think seeing the hunter culture and the music culture weave together, so many people have told me, like, well, you can't do that, And I'm like, you must not know anything about me or my father, because I have a lot of reasons.
Mr. Kant is not invited into our life. He's not allowed in.
But Gonzo is such a cool word to see how you've embodied this philosophy. Almost, you didn't even know you were doing it. And you say that a lot. You were like, I didn't really know. I was consumed with the music. I was really just devoted to making the music good. So I love discovering all of that continuously.
I think I'm a light storm from appreciating God's gift of life another day. And Gonzo is simply the pursuit of optimal, maximum, challenging, risk-taking excellence, putting your heart and soul into being the best that you can be. The martial artists, the samurais, the warriors of the military that I get to train with, they are savants of the physics of spirituality, the spirituality of physics. And you combine the two and you come up with these guitar licks that are a variation of what Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley taught me. But today in 2026, because I'm 77 years old, that we're actually chronicling all these episodes in this book. It's not just the Ted Nugent story. I think it's the American story, whether you're the best welder, the best mechanic, the best conservationist, the best teacher, the best painter, the best, whatever you put your heart and soul in, you are Gonzo. Gonzo is the maximization of your efforts, energy, and spirit into the endeavor that defines your pursuit of happiness. Boy, that was rather profound. Somebody write down what I just said.
We should transcribe that and put it in the final edit. There's actually the newest update, and the last update that you haven't seen because it's not in this version of the book yet. Every chapter, which is every decade of your life, I couldn't help but notice, well, this is kind of the pull out. If there was one lesson that it seems like you may have learned, that was like a theme. Now, to the reader, just ask very simply, Ted did this during this chapter. What about you? Are you allowing others to peer pressure you into denying that?
Is Rocco Winchester Nugent?
I'm noticing it, and so I put that at the end of every chapter as this interesting kind of like prompt to the others of, are you living a Gonzo life as well?
So
are you living the Gonzo life?
So you wrote a lot of what's in the book.
A lot of it with extracting my father's voice from voice memos and conversations.
We've done so many interviews that he's grasped the simple truth, logic, and common sense, which I promote on my Real America's Voice Spirit Campfire on our Spirit of the Wild TV show 8 times a week on the Pursuit Channel. Even though it's about outdoor recreation and conservation and aim small, miss small discipline, it really is about the overall celebration of maximizing your daily life. That's what the Spirit of the Wild is about, and that's what Gonzo means. So, son, I love you. That you've really nailed this down.
Yes.
And Shemane, you are a big part of this because my life really accelerated on that October 3rd, 1988, when I came back from Europe and found you.
Aw, well, thank you. And thank you both. I would love to have you stick around because I want to get into a little bit deeper conversation about what it was like for you going through all those photos, what kind of thoughts went through your mind. And don't blow that because the dogs will go nuts. But can you both stick around one more second?
I have to go.
For you, Mommy, anything.
Don't forget, everybody, we want to help you get as healthy as you can. So go to twc.health/Shemane and order something today. And they have kits, wellness kits for dogs. I mean, you don't want to bring your dog to the vets. It's ridiculously expensive. Go to twc.health/Shemane for a discount. We'll be right back.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
I'm a J6er, and I spent 3 months in jail and about a year in prison.
I spent 4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been smeared and defamed by the media, persecuted by the government, and treated like terrorists.
In reality, J6ers are patriotic men and women, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers from all walks of life.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
And we need your help.
For just $10 or more, you're helping these patriots get mental, physical, and spiritual help.
Please scan the QR code or go to j6support.com to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. We're back with Ted and Rocco, and you know that our dogs aren't just animals, they're family to us. And after years of searching for clean, effective supplements, we finally decided to create our own. So we've got Uncle Ted's Natural Canine Supplements powered by bioflavonoids. That's a plant-based boost to help your dog stay sharp, strong, and healthy. Our dogs use them daily, and we found out that you can actually, they're so high quality, they're human grade quality, you can eat them.
Our dogs are so special, and we saw that everything on the shelves at the dog food counter was poisonous, full of chemicals and preservatives and dyes and nasty stuff. So we got some mad scientists that put together the most healthy, natural, organic, nutritional supplements and even some medicinal stuff. Yeah. So go to getuncleteds.com, getuncleteds.com if you truly love your dogs and want them to be as healthy and happy as possible.
So, Rocco, I want to ask you about what was the most memorable moment in putting this whole book together, this Gonzo Life book that I think will be out before the end of the year. I think it'll be sooner, maybe this summer, maybe in time for the 250 celebration. But what was the thing that stood out to you most about putting this together?
That my energy is limitless.
You know what? Maybe it's that my energy is, well, I was going to say something funky, like I'm your son, so I'm the limitless
genetic.
one. Well, but also time is limited, and he's been doing something so important since he could. And I think so many people miss out on the opportunity to be who they could be if they really devoted it all. And also, maybe to answer your question personally as possible, I am the best hope to steward this story. Yeah. So that maybe has been the most empowering thing, to feel that, you know, I have incredible siblings, and yet for some reason, maybe I have a unique, they say, cut from the similar cloth, or maybe some form of Asperger's that allows me to be socially dysfunctional in the perfect way so that I could discount and also account for the components that are required to pull in all of this, and also fight for certain things. Like, I think it should really be this way. And realizing there's so many moments where I'm introducing this project to people and they're like, damn, you look just like that guy. And I'm like, yeah, if I shaved my beard and I just had the mustache, maybe. So I don't know, maybe it's some kind of like mirror of like, wow, this is my father, and he's a bit of a Michael Jordan kind of superhero character. And he's also just a man that's been finding his way and learning lessons, but publicly in front of others. And that's a mirror for others, and that's this inspiration for others. And it's not even his. It can't even like really be owned by him, because he's like, everyone has an image of Ted, and they're like inspired by him in their own unique way. So he'll stand as a pillar in his own life, obviously, as the author of it. But yeah, God is moving through him in some kind of unique way that is a gift to the world, and I'm honored to be part of that gift.
Well, thank you. I think the takeaway upon reviewing this book, and it's the review of my life, the takeaway is that what you just said, that I grasped onto my musical dreams when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I started pounding on a terrible guitar my Aunt Nancy brought home from an airplane that the passenger forgot to take home with them. She was a stewardess. And it was the time where Les Paul had just electrified the guitar. So it came out from the background of folk strumming into what Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley and the Black Heroes pounded, and had this inescapable rhythm of the blues and the sadness of slavery, and then the electronic exaltation of free, free at last. What a pivotal moment in God's miracle. Ultimately, the explosion of freedom and the end of the horrors and the curse and the sin of slavery. That's really what Motown and Chuck Berry and Little Richard exemplified. He was the middle finger of against slavery, and I'm a free man, and I'm going to sing, you know, Tutti Frutti, all Rudy, and I'm going to go nuts. So I was lucky, but the real takeaway, and I do mean lucky, because I wanted that, and being raised by my dad and Fred Bear with the mystical flight of the arrow, and the consumption of controlling that arrow, and eventually learning that as you control your arrow, the origins of Zen and samurai, you actually can use that control from God's gifts to control your life. So those of you, and mankind is so capable of confusion that maybe you haven't figured out what you want to do by the time you're 10 or 20. I don't know why people haven't found their dream in life, but if you've got children, or no matter how old you are, I just had lunch with Emil Schwartz. He was in Nevada when they tested the atom bomb. He's 96 years old, and he's a bronchomaniac and a hunter and a conservationist. So take a deep breath, and today, or people that you know that don't have a real purpose-driven life, help them find that purpose. I have welders that are the Michael Jordan of welding.
I think I understand why, what you're connecting the dots, what you just said, and the promise of this book is because you said people don't know how to find their purpose in life because they're all doing this.
Especially now,
and
the worst time
people
ever.
Desperately want to return to the land, to return to reading a book, seeing a coffee table book with the pictures. I mean, how many times have you gone to, something another screen, and you try to expand it with your fingers. You can't do that with the book. It's like it's 3D. It makes you, it invites you in. So Rocco, you did an amazing job putting this all together.
I love you, buddy.
If you had to put a number just off the top of your head, how many hours have you spent on this?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, thousands, for sure, thousands. It started in, I think, 2023, 2024, maybe early. So beyond.
There's so much stuff.
I started trying to keep my hours, and then there were so many moments where I had to ask someone, Toby or Sasha.
What day is it?
Yeah, but what year do you think this is from? And like so many questions that went beyond my purview. And then this is a special edition. There will be only a very limited amount of these, and the book will come in a handmade Michigan white. Is it white oak or white pine?
From Phil up there at the Wolf's Den up in Ludington, Michigan. Thank you, Phil. And I'm going to autograph it and put my insignia on there.
Well, funny enough, you said that.
Oh, they've already.
Oh.
So this is a first draft.
There's that, and there's my stick
or this
man.
one.
Wow, that is awesome.
And that's hand drawn by a lady that works with Phil. So we got to choose which version of that you like.
I think this one, but with my artwork on the other side. But maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe my stick man a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And this is how the whole process has gone.
Yeah.
Do you like this color? Do you like this font? Do you like this photo? It's a daunting process, but thank you for doing this, Rocco, because you're right. Nobody else in the family seemed to want to do that. I mean, people will enjoy it for sure.
What happens? Crazy enough to do it, maybe.
And what happens is people get comfortable. Some people out there have a dad that's a welder, and he's an awesome welder, but they don't appreciate that he's an awesome welder. And I got to tell you, I've been guided by the hand of God in many, many ways overall in my life, but so is a great welder. If that bridge didn't fall today, it's because of the welders. When you turn your hot water faucet on and hot water comes out every time, that's the plumber. I think they're more. Not more important than my songwriting. And let me put it this way. The song Crave, a simple life I will not have. It doesn't satisfy me. I don't believe in the status quo. It kind of leaves me weak. A mountain high is what I climb. I swim a river deep. And if you want the time of your life, try to keep up with me. Look at me. That's a smile on my face. You know it don't come cheap. Sure, I live the American dream. Go ahead and crucify me. That should be everyone's battle cry.
You were part of cancel culture before it even happened. I remember when we met in 1988, people were telling you, don't talk about hunting, don't talk about guns, talk about the upcoming tour, talk about your upcoming album.
And I did.
And you did.
But I weaved in those politically incorrect things that were being attacked that happened to be perfect. Self-defense and conservation is perfect. And I was attacked for carrying a gun and eating venison. I knew they were wrong. I knew they were stupid. In fact, they were worse than wrong and stupid. They were evil, and I crushed them. And it's documented in my book called Gonzo Life.
One thing to that point, and I think it's like a thread throughout this book and a thread throughout your life, and you just did it right there. You own your flowers. You smell your flowers. You soak up the scent of the bouquet of your flowers more than maybe anyone else I know. Yeah, I think definitely more than anyone else I know. But you also let everyone know why you are the way you are, and it's usually a reference to someone who came before you.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot to learn from that baton passing. I think that is what it is to be Christ-like, is to live as much as we can as the golden rule, to be the change we wish to see. And,
Amen.
And whether a welder is able to recognize that or not, maybe potentially objectively a less glamorous job than a musician.
A shame.
Or an activist or an author. And I think that's something that's pretty just objectively interesting about your life. If you were to just chronicle it and statistically, like, you cover the name and then you just wrote stats about people. Like, this person at age 20, they did this. And this person is like, well, who the heck is this guy? Whoever's stats this is right here. Remove the cloth. I want to see who this guy's name is. Wow. I want to learn about just the stats alone. Mm-hmm. But you reference that founding fathers, you reference the Motown Funk Brothers, you reference these reasons why you are, and then Emil Schwartz,
Yes.
you're his mirror, he's your mirror.
Yes.
And so it's this gift that keeps giving. It's one of the main things that I see in this
Well,
book.
Ted and Rocco, thank you so much both for joining me here on Faith and Freedom. You can follow Ted on his Spirit Campfire here every week on Rev, and also Ted Nugent Official on Twitter or on Instagram and Facebook. And Rocco is
Rocco Moon.
Rocco Moon on Instagram.
And the moon is rising.
Yes.
It's a full moon.
Yes.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure we've got a lot more to put into this. It's almost done, but I wanted to give you an update because as soon as it's live, you're going to want to get your copy.
Yes.
We're going to do this on Spirit Campfire tomorrow.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be right back. Don't go away. I'll be right back. They got to go.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
This is an important message for victims of asbestos exposure. Even if you smoked, if you or a loved one were diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer or any of the diseases listed on your screen, call the Victims Justice Group now. You may be entitled to significant money damages. Many workers were unknowingly exposed to dangerous asbestos fibers in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. If you or a loved one served in the Navy or other armed forces, or worked in any of the industries or trades listed on your screen, and were diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer or any of these asbestos-related diseases. Even if you smoked, call our asbestos exposure helpline now. The attorneys and staff working with Victims Justice Group have decades of experience and fully understand the complexities of filing a claim to get you the maximum payment for your pain and suffering, securing over $1 billion for mesothelioma and asbestos victims and their families. There are strict deadlines to file a claim.
Call 1-800-871-7603 now.
Are you on Medicaid and in need of bladder control and incontinence products? Then stay tuned for a free offer from Active Style.
I'm embarrassed to go out in public because sometimes I have accidents. Can Medicaid help me with bladder control products?
Can I get my bladder control products delivered at no cost to me? Is there a home delivery service for bladder control products?
How would you like to have all your incontinence supplies delivered discreetly right to your door at no cost to you? You can if you're Medicaid eligible. Thanks to Active Style. At Active Style, we understand your needs and offer convenient home delivery of incontinence products for children and adults. When you call a personal consultant, someone like me will help you find the best bladder control supplies for you. Inside every product is a super absorbent core that turns liquid to gel and locks it away to help protect your skin and keep you dry. Your comfort and satisfaction are assured by our Get It Right guarantee. If the fit's not right, we'll send different products until you're completely satisfied. Plus, we'll handle all the details with your doctor and insurance. And your privacy is assured. Every order ships free right to your door in discreet boxes. Best of all, our caring and complete service costs you nothing if you're Medicaid eligible.
With Active Style, my bladder control worries are gone.
This is a special TV offer. If you're Medicaid eligible, you'll get our great caring service, our Get It Right guarantee, and a free sample. So please, call now.
If you're on Medicaid, call now for your free sample. Active Style is the easy, convenient way to get incontinence supplies shipped discreetly to your door at no cost to you.
Have your Medicaid card ready and call 1-800-507-2123. That's 1-800-507-2123. Call now.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. Okay, picture this. You step out of the shower and you reach for your favorite towel, but oh no, you realize that your favorite towel, the thick absorbent one that you always grab, it's in the wash. Now you're stuck between two other options. One is the fluffy one that doesn't absorb, or the scratchy one that looks nice, but it hurts your skin, actually. Nothing worse than that. That's why I love MyPillow towels. They're actually, I really do. I promise you, I really do. They're actually designed to absorb water the way that a towel should. I use them every day, and if my pillow towel is not there, I don't get upset, but I'll say, Ted, get me my towel. And guess what? They've got sheets and blankets and toppers for your bed. I have all of those things. And our dogs use the dog beds and they love them. They told us they love them. Actually, more than once, almost every day, I lay down on the dog beds with my dogs. So I know how comfortable they are. You owe it to your dogs. You owe it to yourself to get products from a patriot, a true patriot, Mike Lindell. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code FAITH for a discount. That's MyPillow.com. I take that back. It's the promo code Shemane. Or I got my own number. You can call 1-800-969-3137. My next guest has built a following around a powerful idea that women don't fade, they shine. Barbara Alex is an Instagram style influencer whose mission is simple, to help women turn their closets into outfits they actually love. Barbara, welcome. I am so glad that you're here because I need your help.
Oh, I would love to get into your closet, Shemane. You always look fabulous.
Well, you do, and I'm so excited. We got the chance to meet. Rodney, I'm going to send you one of those photos of Barbara and I and Ted and Barbara's husband together over this past weekend. They attended one of Ted's concerts, but I am so encouraged by women who are supporting women, and I think that's what your mission is all about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Life is hard enough. And I hate seeing any sort of competition between women. And I think we need to be each other's greatest supporters in all aspects of life. I really do. And that we should lift each other up. Yeah, and lift each other up and build each other up and not tear each other down. I mean, that's what the outside world does for many of us. And so, yeah.
I agree. And what would you say is the number one issue? I can tell you my issues when picking out my clothes for the day, but what would you say that many women who reach out to you struggle with the most?
Putting outfits together. The thing is, no one's ever sat us down and taught us how to put an outfit together. Like, where do you start? What do you build upon? What are all those little sort of details that you need to focus on? I would say that's one of the biggest ones. Putting in like a polished, put together look from beginning to end is one of the biggest ones. The next thing is, and they don't necessarily know it, but knowing how to dress for your body shape. And, it was so big years ago, knowing whether you're an apple or a pear, but it's not even that. It's not even about what shape you are, but it's knowing your proportions, where you go in and out, and why things will look wonderful on, let's say, your best friend who's the exact same size. She might have a different shape, but not only that, your vertical proportions. So you see a lot on the internet about body shape, but you don't see a lot about your vertical proportions, and that is huge. That is the other half of the equation, your body horizontally and vertically. And that will help you know how to put your outfits together. It'll help you know what to shop for. You'll know which cuts and styles just don't suit you. Or if there are pieces that you love, you'll know exactly how to tweak them to make you look even better in those clothes. So it's just knowing a few simple principles.
Give us some examples.
Well, I know you have a graphic. I'm a rectangle. I'm going to give you that. I've always wanted to be an hourglass. I just love those, feminine curves that I've never had. But one thing, pardon me, as an hourglass, what you want to do is follow the curves of your body with your clothes. You don't want to hide them because it does absolutely nothing for you. I mean, if you love wearing baggy, oversized clothes, you do you. I've always been a big proponent of, if you're hiring me, I will give you my opinion. I will not give you my opinion if you're not interested. If you love that sort of oversized look and you feel more comfortable in it, do it. But if you're wanting to look sort of polished, really put together, following, like in this example, following the curves of your body is wonderful for hourglasses. Someone like myself who's a rectangle, if I do that, you'll see I have absolutely no shape. So it's little tweaks and, covering this and, placing this here and there makes a big difference.
So what do you do to, let's say you're a rectangle, what do you do to accentuate those parts of your body that you want to have covered, and maybe others that could stand out a little bit more?
Yeah, so as a rectangle, you really, and it also depends on your vertical proportions, but as a rectangle, you have no waist. Yeah. So a lot of clothes, where I have to watch the placement of my bottoms. That's the big trick. Watching the placement of your bottoms. Highlighting your shoulders, like I'm wearing this oversized blazer today, makes me look like I have shape. If I wear something, like maybe with a stronger shoulder or a shoulder detail, and then either bypass my waist, meaning wear something that completely covers it, or if it's wider here, wear something like even a peplum, where it comes in at your waist and then goes out at your hips. So you're creating fake shape when you're a rectangle. So you're either bypassing your waist or you're creating shape around it. So at your shoulders and up at your hips, and then bringing in either at your waist, or if you want to bypass your waist, if you're wearing a looser top, belting or wearing your pants at your hip will bypass the fact that you don't have a waist.
That's my biggest problem, is finding pants that fit. I'm not tall. I'm 5'4". And you're right. Like sometimes I'll look in a magazine and think, wow, I have to have that outfit, especially with all the talk about Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and this new series that's out called Love Story. People are wanting to dress just like her, but that doesn't work on everybody. So what do you recommend? How do people get started? With the top or the bottom or shoes or what?
It's a combination. So yeah. So the one thing, if you're as obsessed with everybody with Carolyn Bessette Kennedy right now, it's not so much about what she wore, but the style. Her style was very classic and clean. You can wear that style of clothing, that sort of minimalist, polished look, with any body shape. It's just knowing which trousers to purchase, how to tuck. What to keep out, where to add your details. So it's really, I would say the first thing to do is learn your shape. Then learn the principles, and it's really so simple. It's not complicated. Once you know the principles, you'll know, oh, okay, so she perhaps wore a turtleneck, but for me, that same style of sweater would be better as a V-neck. That would be more flattering on me. But I could still buy, that simple, luxurious cashmere sweater, fitted sweater. I'm just going to do a different neckline. Or if it's a turtleneck, I'm going to wear a longer necklace.
Rodney, if you can pull up that photo of Ted and I with John Jr. and Carolyn. I don't know if I told you this, Barbara, but we were with them at the premiere of George Magazine. Not the premiere, but it was an anniversary party. And somebody talked me into wearing this dress that I did not feel comfortable in at all. I'm not from New York City. I didn't know what the trends were. And I felt like it just wasn't me. And now I look at that picture and I'm like, oh my God, I cringe. But it's hard. How do you find, the trends will come and go, but you've got to stick to what works for you, right? And be bold and brave and go, no, I just don't like that. I don't want to follow that big baggy trend.
Yeah. And you don't have to. There are so many trends every season, like the spring, summer, and the fall, winter. It's hard sometimes to know which ones to adopt. If you want to stay current, this is what I always recommend. Have a good closet full of wardrobe staples, classics that will, invest in good classic pieces that will stand the test of time year after year. You might spend a little bit more, but they're going to last you 10 years. And then bring in the odd trend that you love. And if you don't love it, who cares? It doesn't matter. Style is all about a self-expression and being true to yourself. So if there's something that you love, sure, bring it in. If there's something that you don't, it's not for you. Like you said, years later, you're looking at this photo and you're cringing because you knew it wasn't you. So
well, how would you set up? We've got less than a minute. How would you set up, what's the best advice to set up your closet? I go in, and when I reached out to you, or you reached out to me and I responded, I'm your perfect client. I have a closet full of clothes, but I go in and I have nothing to wear. In 30 seconds, Barbara, what is your top recommendation?
Start with pulling out the clothes that you never wear. Pull them out, take a look at them, say, why don't I wear them? Because they're cluttering your day-to-day. And another thing you can do, because then decide if you want to put them back or not. Sometimes they don't have a matching piece to go with it, so then you need to purchase something. Sometimes it's something that you hate, get rid of it, it's getting in your way. The next thing I would do is take a look at what you're wearing every day. If you pull it out, put it back on your closet on, let's say, the left side or on one side, and start stacking the clothes you wear all the time, and you're going to start noticing a pattern. These are the 20% I wear. These are the 80% I don't. Why am I not wearing that 80%? Go through those and be ruthless. Be ruthless.
Barbara, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. You can follow Barbara at Barbara Aleks, Aleks, on Instagram. Thank you so much, Barbara. God bless you. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider, because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
When you look at your grocery bill, is it so high it knocks you off your feet? It's time to stand up and save with InstaSeal by Bell & Howell, the world's first vertical vacuum sealing system designed to save you money. Unlike ordinary storage bags that trap air in, spoiling your food, InstaSeal removes the air completely, extending freshness up to 6 times longer. Now that's saving. Look, flat sealers create a big mess, but InstaSeal is upright, mess-free, and easy. The secret is Smart Seal technology. With just one touch, it auto-feeds the bag to seal, pauses to vacuum out the air, then continues to perfectly seal. Plus, InstaSeal has a motor powerful enough to crush cans, but smart enough to save crackers from turning to dust. Forget big, bulky sealers you have to put away. InstaSeal's compact design stays to help you seal and save every day. Got a great deal on chicken, meat, or fish? InstaSeal protects it from freezer burn. Now buy groceries in bulk. Make meals ahead of time. InstaSeal and save. It even works with all universal storage system bags. Buy on sale meats. InstaSeal and save. When you add it all up, InstaSeal will help you seal and save hundreds on your family's grocery bill. Call or go online now and get the complete InstaSeal system that keeps food fresh 6 times longer, with enough storage bags to fill your entire fridge for the special TV discount price of just $99.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. You get it all, an incredible value for one low price. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-308-6802 or go to buyinstaseal.com. So call 1-800-308-6802 or order online at buyinstaseal.com.
J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider, because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. Last month, President Trump posted on Truth Social that he would direct the Pentagon to begin identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life. Joining me now, again, is Rocco. And Rocco, you just did a series called Anomaly. Talk about that, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Man, my dear brother Matthew Thompson worked with a guy that was part of a band called Blink-182.
Okay.
And just passionate about this story of aliens and like how do you even talk about it? Yeah, so it's on the screen. It's a short film and it's a series. And my dear friend Matt casted me in a role where I'm a remote viewer. And there's this really cool story of a guy named Ingo Swann. I think that's how you say his name. And there's a long lineage of people who have been working for the U.S. government who use, funny enough, yogic techniques to perceive beyond their body's sensory abilities. So things like remote viewing and things that I know you've talked about in the past. Sometimes they're similar to astral projection, but I would say it's slightly different. To work for the government and see things that otherwise you can't see, underwater bases, remote locations based off of longitude and latitude. So that was the character that I played. And I've been studying UFOs and near-death experiences and how near-death experiences can sometimes give people insights into potentially life not from this planet. And I think that's a very interesting topic, especially when you bring in the idea of the spiritual war and angels and demons and different lineages or different races of alien or extraterrestrial species. So it's a lot to talk about there.
Now, the files haven't dropped yet, but one former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense said this might be a consequential moment, but the impact will depend on the follow-through. And that's what a lot of people are worried. Okay, they released the Epstein files, and then what? Where are the arrests? So what do you think is going to happen, if anything, if they do release the files on UAPs?
I personally feel like it's kind of like the story of the Illuminati and the Epstein files, and there are certain things that if it is true, you know what I mean, it would like collapse the fabric of modern society, because the players who are so incentivized to keep up the illusion of certain structures, they would like very, very much not be incentivized to tell us the truth. And I think we've been telling the story of aliens and UFOs and extraterrestrials for so long because it's true, and also it's been doctored and augmented in this particular way and kind of been kept from public view because there is something powerful there to be controlled by the powers that be.
Well, Genesis describes the Nephilim. Daniel saw visions that defied explanation. Ezekiel described wheels within wheels. And Jesus himself said that in the last days there would be signs in the heavens that would cause men's heart to fail from fear. I mean, it's kind of crazy. You don't have to answer this, but do you think these are the end times?
I think Jesus has already returned, and I think the book of Revelation is actually a biophotonic story, that we all die every day and we're all reborn every second. And ultimately, the age of Aquarius beginning and the end of Pisces is also the macro version of that. And so the kind of fissure, the cracking of you ever seen Truman Show?
Yeah.
You seen The Matrix?
I love them, yep.
So I feel like those are documentaries.
That's what people say.
And so I feel like we are at the moment where the boat is hitting the wall. We are at the moment. The
Truman Show.
Yeah, we're at the moment where there is a crackling of, is Elvis and Michael Jackson on the moon right now? I don't know. I personally want to go to outer space to see if it is flat or not. And there's a lot of just, I think, culture now. We get into these like siloed conversations, and it turns into this almost intellectual competition of who's first and who's right and who's wrong, and then you get lost amongst like what's actually spiritually relevant right now. How does it impact us living our daily lives?
Well, I know when it does happen, the noise is going to get real loud, and what's important to me is to fix my eyes on Christ, not on the headlines, not on what's in the skies. And we've been covering this on Faith and Freedom for years. last month, L.A. Marzulli, Tony Merkel, and a lot of people who are talking about the supernatural. We're not late to the conversation, but stick around because coming up on more Faith and Freedom shows, I'm going to have even more for you. But right now, I want to turn to Pastor Anthony Thomas, who's got a word for us today. Take a look.
Hello, Faith and Freedom Warriors. I want to encourage you. Ephesians 6:10 says, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. We live in a day and age where there's weakness around that it's been taught and indoctrinated to people. Men have become weak. Our churches have become weak. But there's a great promise in scriptures that we can make an exchange with God, take our weakness, with all of us have, to God the Almighty, and he will give us his strength. One of the monikers of God is he is El Shaddai, the Almighty, or the All-Sufficient One. If you have faith today, pray with me. We're going to take our weakness together to God and make an exchange for his strength. Father, we thank you today for your power and your spirit. We thank you that in you dwells omnipotence, power, strength, and might. God, we come before you and we give you our weaknesses and we make an exchange with Christ, and we ask, God, that you would, Lord, endow upon us the strength from heaven, the strength from the Almighty. God, we thank you. By faith, we receive it today. Let us be strong in spirit, strong in mind, strong in word, and strong in deed. And let it be said, God, that out of weakness, they were made strong by the Almighty. In the mighty name of the Lord Jesus Christ, amen. Hey, I just got done. I'm on a series on covenants. I just got done filming a video on what was life like on the earth before sin. I hope you watch it. Go on Rumble, Tip of the Spirit Church, Naples, Florida. God bless you. Be strong in Christ this week. Pastor Anthony, out.
You know, things are always better with pets, Rocco. So we always end the show with something to make you smile. Take a look. Well, I caught you smiling. Doesn't that make you smile?
It makes my eyes water.
I know. Isn't that so special? And I fought to have that in this show because there's so much heaviness in the world today. And I think one of the most important things for me is we've got to lighten up. We've got to find things that make our hearts sing. And for me, one of those things, as you know, and with you too, is our pets.
Who did you have to fight to keep
Dad. Dad didn't want me to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Fighting. Okay. Sometimes we have to fight things that are lighthearted.
That's right. That's right.
Paradoxically.
Yes, I agree. And well, thank you, Rocco, so much for joining me today. You and Dad talked about this incredible book, Gonzo Life. It's going to be coming out. Dad said not to the end of the year.
No, I think it's going to be out by June.
Yeah. So we've got our
pre-sale link. We're going to do a whole pre-sale. We're going to do this whole wooden, exclusive special edition. It's going to come in a wooden box. There's going to be a premium edition. It's going to be incredible.
TedNugent.com. Do you have any type of a link where people can get on a mailing list? And
yeah, TedNugent.com. There is an email newsletter list to get on, and then we're going to do a beautiful reset of the Ted Nugent website very soon, and there will be a GonzoLife.com. There will be a TedNugent.com integration. Exactly. There's a lot you can do with that.
What movie was that from when he held up the album cover? Was it this one?
What movie?
There was a movie when he had Dad's album cover. Main character.
Oh, a main character.
Was it Matthew McConaughey?
Oh,
you guys,
wow.
Do you know what I'm talking about? That?
Someone Google that right now.
But
put it in the comments. What movie was that?
I know people will be telling me. But thank you so much, Rocco. Where can people find you?
North Pole, Antarctica. I'll be there until September 2nd.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Rocco Moon, ROCCO, Moon, MOON. Moon stands for Missing Out on Nothing. So my life is dedicated to helping people navigate depression and identity crisis, and I hope to be part of the change that I wish to see. And so I teach and I coach, but I also create and assist others in creating, and that's our company, Moon Co.
And everybody else go to, well, everybody, including people who are following Rocco, go to twc.health/Shemane. You've got to be prepared. Who knows what's going to be happening? I mean, the lights could go out at any time. And I think, don't you think, Rocco, more and more people have returned to wanting to learn how to be self-sufficient?
Mm-hmm. I do think that. That's true.
And you were raised in a family that makes you. What are the things that you need to have on you, Rocco, that Dad always drilled into you?
Pocket knife, chapstick, handkerchief, identification, a couple dollars, stuff like that. People are relying on wanting to be more self-sufficient these days because so much of the world is falling apart and old systems that we were told were real are being shown as false.
Yeah, so many. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for watching Faith and Freedom. Please share this show, and if you want to check out my books, they're available on Amazon, Abundantly Well and Killer House. You can check out my website, ShemaneNugent.rocks, ROCKS, and you'll find a bunch of resources, videos, and links to this podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And, of course, watch Faith and Freedom right here on Real America's Voice every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Don't forget, you were born for such a time as this. God bless.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
This was the last thing my Charlie ever wrote. The message of Jesus changes everything, changes your life, your choices, your eternity. And Charlie wanted to leave behind something that would point people to Christ, not to fame or power, just truth.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
And my husband called his final book, Stop in the Name of God, because resting in God's grace is what our world has forgotten to do. So just stop and listen, believe and rest, because this is Charlie's final and greatest message to all of us.
I'm actually finishing a book. So I actually don't work one day out of the week. So I take a Sabbath every Saturday. Turn my phone off, no work, just kids, just family. It's an amazing blessing. Every Saturday, totally off. It's amazing how much work you can get done in 6 days, though.
I believe that honoring the Sabbath is the commandment that allows you to honor the other 9 commandments. When you're honoring the Sabbath, it's easier to have no other gods before God because that day is built in time as a temple, as a sanctuary to put God first, to not have idols.
If you are feeling overrun by society, you might be feeling depressed or anxious, turn your phone off for one day. No social media, no work. Your mental health will improve dramatically. You can hang out with friends, you can go for a walk, but don't work for one day. That is a day for worship. That is a day for the Lord. That is a day to go be with God. That is a day to read your Bible and be out of the busyness and the hurriedness and the noise of this world. I could be traveling for 5 or 6 days, but if I at least get one good Sabbath with my family, it charges all back up.
Call, scan, or go online to support TPUSA and receive your copy of Charlie's final book.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
I'm a J6er, and I spent 3 months in jail and about a year in prison.
I spent 4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been smeared and defamed by the media, persecuted by the government, and treated like terrorists.
In reality, J6ers are patriotic men and women, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers from all walks of life.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
And we need your help.
For just $10 or more, you're helping these patriots get mental, physical, and spiritual help.
Please scan the QR code or go to j6support.com to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Go now to j6support.com and donate today. President Trump delivered on his promises. The border is secure. Deportations are underway. DEI is out and meritocracy is in. America is back. But we can't get complacent. The radical left is already mounting a resistance. None of our America First agenda will be secure until we build the red wall. Donate at tprav.com or scan the QR code now to help us secure victory. Turning Point PAC is building the red wall in Arizona, Nevada, and New Hampshire, key battleground states where conservatives outnumber Democrats. We are funding door knockers who will win the next elections in 2026, 2028, and beyond. Today, we're asking for your immediate support. Visit tprav.com or scan the QR code now to help us win in key battleground states.